Hiya, here is a short video for those of you that are rebuilding an HS2 and want to know how do you centre the jet. This is part of a main video that I'm doing on overhauling an HS2, but I thought I'd just release this video which shows you how to centre the jet and a little bit about float heights on the SUs. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. Now the next stage of the HS2 is to fit the needle into the piston. You push the needle in until that is flush and then insert the little screw, do the screw up. That screw holds the needle in position. Now on these carburetors the needle is fixed, so in other words, once the screw's done up, that needle doesn't move. That needle is now part of the piston. So the jet, when you have the jet in the jet holder, the needle must enter the jet correctly. Now because the jet assembly can move around, you can actually get it so that the needle doesn't go in. So what we have to do, we have to centralise the jet so that the needle will go in and out the jet like that during operation. That's the next stage. So we fitted the jet guide loosely. That nut is loose. This is still loose. If you look in there, this can move about quite a bit. Now the jet goes inside here, so obviously that's what we want it to do. We want it to be able to move about. So don't do that nut up tight. Do it just up, just so that that can still move. Now we fit the piston with the needle into position so that the needle goes into the jet tube. Sticks out like that. We can then fit the jet over it like that so it's loose. So the jet's loose, the pistons easily goes up and down, so we know that now they're lined up. So if we're able to do that nut up at that point, we should be in a position where it's fairly accurately aligned. So we'll nip that up, see if it still moves as easy as what it does now, and then we know that we can build up from there to assess whether it's correctly aligned. So now, yeah, that's done up, and that still moves quite nicely. That still moves quite nicely, so that's actually a-okay. So what we do now is we put the adjusting nut and spring on, just do it up to your rough setting. Take the piston out, put that carefully to one side because you don't want to bend that needle. And now we're going to fit the jet to the float bowl. So we're just going to screw that into there, then fit the jet into position. So I'll just do that. So now the jet, as you can see, is just bolted into the float bowl. We then slide the jet into the jet holder, fit the float bowl, do the float bowl up, a little bit of a faff. So that's now done up, the float bowl is down in position, the jet's there, so now we're going to just nip that jet up to make sure that it's fully, and then what we'll do, we'll check to see if that jet is centred on the piston. That nips up quite nicely. Does the jet still go up and down? Yep, the jet will go up and down quite nicely. Now if we put that piston in, will the jet and the piston be aligned? Absolutely perfectly. So that is now perfectly aligned. So that is now able, we're now able to adjust that and then put the dash pot and the piston on, and it will be perfect. Notice as well the way the float bowl is arranged. I'm now going to fill the float bowl up with fuel to ensure that there's no leaks at this point here, no leaks in the jet or anything that shouldn't be there, because nothing is more annoying than finding out after you've rebuilt the whole carburetor that bloody thing leaks and you've got to take it apart. And then after I've done that, then I'm going to attach the choke mechanism to the jet. SU float heights. Now this is a topic that gets lots of different people with different opinions. Now there are basically two sets of floats, two types of float. One, the all plastic float, where there's just a plastic bit there, no way you can adjust that at all. The earlier type, which is the same float essentially, but there's a little metal tang on the top. Now you can bend that tang in order to sort of like adjust the float height. But what should the float height be? How do we make sure it's the right height? Well, this is what this little bit of the video is all about. So we screw the needle seat into the float chamber. Install the needle, and then using the float pin, you then push the float pin through in order to put the float into position. So then the float pin is installed, and then you look at the float. The float when you tip the float upside down, the distance between the float and the top of the float bowl should be about 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch. About. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, a little tiny bit more or less. Doesn't want to be horrendously different. So with this type of float, the plastic type, you can't do anything about it. If it's not the correct distance, if for example it's up there, you can't do anything about it. But what does that mean then? What are we going to do then? Well, there's a couple of options. Options are, there are some floats where the hole is higher, so effectively you get a better leverage. Sometimes you can put washers underneath the float valve, but essentially if it's massively out, then there is something wrong. Either the float needle is the wrong one, or the needle seat is too high up, because essentially if the needle and the seat are correct and the float is correct, then it's going to be in the same position, period, end of story. If you use the early float with the metal bit on, of course, with the metal bit you can bend the float to a certain degree to accompany wherever you need it to be. So these floats are a bit more universal. You can actually play around with things. But remember, the gap must be 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch between the top of the float and the float bowl when the float is upside down, but not compressing the float, not when it pushes that little spring in. You don't have it so it pushes that spring in. All right, that is float height on the SUs, HS2, HS4, HS6. The HIF carbs are totally different because they've got the float chamber integral in the body. So there you go then. So hopefully that just shows you the how to centre the jet and a little bit about float height on the SU HS2. Hopefully that's been of some use to you. Take care and see you soon. Bye.